negotiating deals.
Buying me some shit, I'm stunning in this bitch, everything legit.
I want me a meal to see just how it.
Rebels, ha ha, everything legit with Wise and Pitt. You know it's real if they said it.
You are now listening to Rebels Radio with Wise and Pitt.
Like, I don't even know if I'm high or if I'm drunk at this point. Hey.
Yeah, full up the cash out, getting these packs out, sleep in the trap house, all in the year. From sleeping in the car to living in the castle, put it on pasta, all in the year. She said she didn't want me, not a bit on me, I don't even want it. I was all in the ear, beating up back out, running these racks out, never will I tap out, all of this year. Full up this cash out, getting these packs out, sleeping in the trap house, all of this year. Sleeping in my car to living in the castle, put it on pasta, all in 1 year. She said she didn't want it, now she all on me, I don't even want it. I was all in the ear, full in these cash apps, getting these packs out, sleeping in the trap house, all in the ear. She throwing me the coochie while I'm on the deuce.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My boy, man. Welcome back, my boy, to another episode. Everything's Legit podcast, man. Coming to you live from Rebels Radio. It's your boy Wise checking in.
With your boy Pitt. You already know, man. It's everything legit, man. It's good to be back.
Hey, man, that Novocaine, that pastor, boy. Woo! It's a good way to. It's a good way to. It's a good way to set things off, boy. That thing.
Living in a castle.
Yeah. Put that on pastor, boy. Shee. That thing sliding right there, boy. Shout out to that boy Novocaine on that that put it on pastor. That's out now everywhere. Yes, sir. Hey, bro, how you feeling, bro? Before we get started, bro, how's everything, bro? How you been?
I'm good, man. Like I said, happy to be back. Happy to be back in this element. You know, we've been doing a lot, but it's good to be back on this side of things.
Yeah, bro, for sure, man. For sure. That's for sure, man. It's been a lot going on, man. A lot popping off, a lot happening, you know. We just been working and getting things in order on the other side. But it's a lot that's been happening in the coaching, man, that we got to tap into, man. So how you wanna start things this week?
I know one thing that everybody been tapped into is that Kanye documentary. You know, we all got our thoughts about Kanye. We talk about Kanye an awful lot here on DLP, but that documentary kind of brought a different light, a different side to who Kanye is and why he is who he is. You had a chance to check that out?
Yeah, bro. It was inspiring to me, man. I wanted to take my time with it, because I know that, I know that
Excitement, huh?
Man,
Excitement.
I know that it was a lot to digest. It was long, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like every episode is like you just understand Kanye just a little bit more, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
On the music side. Understand the fight that he's been in and the plight that he's on. It kind of just made me, you know, see him in a different light, you know, musically, because especially when he first started and to see how it was really hard for him just to get that start, just to get that shine. And when he finally did, you know, it was on. But especially that second episode, it was really inspiring to see the work that they put in to get him to that superstar status, and how long and just the work that he was willing to put in, the time that he was willing to put in, and he just felt like, it seemed like that he enjoyed the journey and he just loved the journey, and that was my favorite part, just to see that part, because it just lets you know, like, especially when you're trying to do anything, you know, you gotta enjoy just the process of it all.
Yeah,
you know?
I remember way back, a guy told me and Ro, this is back when everybody was trying to be the first in Broward to pop. God told me, we was at a show. God told me and Ro, he said, "Hey man, one thing y'all got to know is this ain't a race; it's a journey. You got to learn to enjoy everything, every obstacle in your way on the way to getting where you're trying to be." And that's one thing that always stuck to me. And then watching the Kanye doc, I was like, I was just seeing that he just, no matter what happened, no matter how he felt, he didn't quit. Like there was never no, he always kind of, took it on the chin and was like, okay, we're gonna find another way. We're gonna do it another way. We're gonna still get there. But you know what I'm saying? This is the obstacle in the way. We're gonna get over it. And that's one of the things that stuck with me from the first 2 episodes.
So yeah, so it was just real inspiring just to see him just to see the 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 work. The other thing that I really enjoyed about it was being able to see the realness in his music. To see that what he was going through, um, like for instance through the wire, just to see, because we always talk about in hip hop, uh, you gotta just the realness of your music, and just because his music wasn't, you know, 808 heavy in the beginning, it was more sample and more soulful music. He was still just talking about his environment, what he was going through. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just that whole Through the Wire song was just a living proof of what he was going through, and just to see how that whole record came together, to see how the music video came together, how he just fought to do it on his own. Because sometimes, man, when you doing something and you in the midst of something, not everybody's gonna understand it while you doing it.
Yeah.
But you gotta have enough sense and enough like stubbornness really to do and keep doing what you want to do, especially after somebody tells you, "Yo, it's not gonna happen like that." Because it was just real interesting to see him fight for them not to label him a producer rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't want to be labeled a producer rapper. He wanted to be the best producer and he wanted to be the best rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then just to see when he got the respect from like Yassine Bey and Common and getting their respect, like that's what meant the most to him when he got that opportunity to actually be in the studio with Jay, and Jay even told him like, "Yo, you know what's happening right now," like, and to hear the story about how he almost didn't make that, and just to see how like, man, it's just inspiring, man. Just inspiring to see him fight for it all, and to see where everything is at now. Like that was a real hip hop moment, that early 2000s time frame, man. And you just, those moments you just gotta like. That's just where Kanye comes from. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times, just musically, you gotta know that he's always been that individual to push the music, push the envelope musically. He always been that person.
Yeah, Kanye is definitely a genius. A genius musically. Like you said, from the samples, from just the being a producer and them not wanting to even give him a shot as an artist. He kept like putting his project together. Like he was like, "All right, bet y'all don't see me like that. Okay, cool, but I'm working on this." He going up there, he like, "Yo, y'all listen to this." You know what I'm saying? He never, you know what I'm saying? He kept his head on straight. And that's another thing that comes with being a genius. Regular people just they quit. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, "All right, let me just get back to making these beats. Let me just get back to shopping these beats. What, Jay needs some new beats? Jay working on a new project? All right, let me get Jay some new beats." Mm-hmm. But he kept going. And then even now, like we've seen Kanye go through a phase where, I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of his most recent music before Donda. And to me, Donda still was, it was different. It wasn't my type of music completely, but there was a lot of it that I liked and a lot of it that I didn't like. But he's never been afraid. You know what I'm saying? He's never been afraid to say, all right, well, this ain't hip hop, so the hip hop heads ain't gonna feel this. You know what I'm saying? He always just went with what Kanye wanted to do. Kanye, like you said, Kanye gonna push the envelope musically, and that's his gift and his curse. And I think that's one of those things that we love about him as far as the hip hop culture.
Nah, it's true. One thing that I did appreciate about Kanye in the whole documentary, is that he first of all, it showed the importance of support. His mom knew every lyric, every word to every song. She was right there. She was promoting him. She was his best friend. She was like, and you could see on camera. You could see when his mom popped up, the difference that came about in him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? His confidence grew. His focus was all right. My mom knows she's cool. She's telling me I'm gonna keep, and that's what. And even just like seeing the difference in him after his mom passed, right? And to see how it affected him, because even like when Cootie was like, "Yo, for 6 years, I ain't see him, I ain't talk to him," And then the one scene where I forget what album it was, but Kanye act like he wasn't even in the room. You know what I'm saying? And to me, what it made me think about was like all those people, especially Cootie, probably reminded him of his mom, because especially when they wasn't talking, Kanye mom still invited Cootie over to get like family photos, family videos and stuff like that. Like he was still tapped in through Kanye mom. He was still around Kanye mom. So I can imagine just when he see him and he around him, he probably like, yo, you remind me of my mom, because you just always been around that. And I can see his resentment in that, but it's just cool to see and understand the importance of support and the importance of being there for the people in your family and your support system, and just to see how important that is.
Yeah, I feel like and that's one thing that keeps a lot of artists going, is that support. Whether it's like Kanye, it was he had people around him that supported him, but there was no support like his mother's support. And so even with a lot of our local artists, when we see it all the time, once they feel like they're not getting the support that they think they should get, they first thing they want to do is, all right, man, I'm done with this. This ain't where it's at. They don't love me like they say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All the fake love, and that's when we start getting all of them type of posts. But it's important to have the people that like you build something at home first before you start trying to go to social media and I need this many followers and I need this many streams. I need people to be playing my music every day. You got to understand that if you ain't build to that point, then you don't have that. You don't just jump in the game and be dope and everybody love you just like that. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? You got to build that from the ground up. And I think that's one thing, because Kanye didn't have that at the beginning. Kanye didn't have the social media like we got now. Right now, artists think that artists use social media as a tool to expand their fan base and expand their brand. Kanye just had to kind of get it off the muscle, and like we said, he started off making beats for Rockefeller and those guys, but his dreams are bigger than that. So I think that as far as that goes, a lot of artists are heavily dependent on social media these days, and they haven't really had the opportunity to do the groundwork.
Yeah, he was dedicated to the process. He was dedicated
that's the process.
to to just the work, because even when he ran up in the offices and he was playing the music and they was like really just brushing him to the side, like even with that something like that could be discouraging to a regular artist, you know what I'm saying, or somebody who really don't want it the way that it might seem. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to allow anything to stop him from getting what he knew, he was supposed to get out. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I did appreciate about Kanye, is, especially in the last episode, it showed how important it was for him to collab with artists. Especially when he had the thing in Wyoming, when he had all the artists fly in and come in, and I remember just hearing hip hop talk about that experience of being there with him and collabing with him, hearing West Side Gun talk about how they help, and they've been helping him work on the Donda projects and stuff like that. Like the importance that he places on having that energy around that different type of energy around to create a different vibe of music that maybe he probably wouldn't have created if he just in there by himself and he hear the beat by himself. Now you in there with other individuals, you in there with other creators, and now that energy is bouncing back and forth. You're gonna catch a different vibe. You're gonna catch a different, I remember I think it was West Side Gun. He was on Breakfast Club and he was talking about, no, it was Conway. It was Conway. Conway was on Breakfast Club and he was talking about how he had never done gospel music or anything like it. And then he said that when he got down to the camp or whatever, it took him a couple of days to adjust because he didn't know what to expect and how to. But he said that he's a creative, and you put me in that box, or you put me anywhere, eventually I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna create through it, and that's exactly what he did. He said he found his way through it. He started creating through it, and that's what he did. And so it just made me think about like the importance of that unity in our work. You know what I'm saying? Because I do hear some individuals say that they not with that, or they don't care about that in our city, and it kind of like makes me step back a little bit, because it's like, if you don't care about making sure we all, the ones who's worthy of it, the ones who really, now when you talk about unity, right, everybody can't come, right?
Right.
It's one of those things. It's one of these things where it ain't about everybody, open arms. I'm here. Come get it. Come one, come all. Right? Because it ain't about that. But the ones who's worthy, the ones who put out that quality music, the ones who put in that work, the ones who got that caliber, that the ones who got that energy behind them. Why wouldn't you want to be in a position where all of us are pushing each other past the limit?
Right.
Especially when and you look around and you see the different examples. You see the Atlantas, you see the Houstons, you see the Memphis, Tennessees. You see all these different areas that when they link up, they stronghold, they chokehold, they influence on the game is much bigger than one artist pop off. Because now what happens is you create a lane, you create a resource, you create a gateway for individuals who are putting in that work, who up next. Now they have a pipeline. Now they have a way to get into this system, and now they own. And now what that starts to do is the sound, our influence, our hold on the culture, on hip hop, it grows. Now we become undeniable. Now it ain't just a one hit and done. Now our influence, our field, our impact, because whether individuals know it or not, they come down here and take whatever we got down here and take it back to where they from and just remix it. Because every sauce, every idea, every whatever you want to call it, everything starts from the bottom. Heat rises to the top, right? So everything is here. It starts here, the influence, and then it creeps slowly up. They come down here, they come down here for 2 weeks. Everybody want to come down here and record. Why? Because that energy and that sauce is down here. So they come down here, they record, catch that energy, catch that vibe. Then they go back to where they from and they put their remix on it. That's what they do. They steal it. They don't steal it, but they borrow the sauce. They borrow the energy.
Yeah, bro.
So why don't we come together and unite and put that together and make sure that we sustain ourselves? Because now we ain't gotta wait for nobody to come down here and pick us up. Now we got the pipeline. Now we got the focus of an Atlanta, of a Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, I feel like there are some artists who, you know, who may prefer solo work. You know, they may prefer to do their own thing, and you know, I ain't trying to collab with nobody right now. That's cool, you know what I'm saying? But and I don't even want to say, like, you know, keep that in mind when you do see the results of, you know, people, you know, just a city being united. You know what I'm saying? Don't because I feel like I wouldn't say, nah, remember you want to do solo work. I wouldn't say that in that moment. But I do feel like you have to now at some point bring yourself to be like, all right, you know, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. I see y'all doing your thing. And the city is bubbling. The city is definitely bubbling. Like you said, people come here because they want that energy. They want to be able to take that energy back home with them. They're trying to bottle up a little bit of that sauce, take it home with them. They take our lingo and everything.
Yeah.
So I think, and Kodak said it best when he responded to the Pretty V thing, whatever we gonna call it. She's a comedian, by the way, so we're gonna let her do comedy. But when Kodak responded to that, and he said, you know, Broward love Broward. Broward don't want to be from nowhere else. And that's just who we are. And that's one thing that I like about him is that he gonna say, like we talked about a while ago, he the only one who can get on social media and be himself. Everybody else gotta have a antic or something that they, you know, clout chasing. Kodak can just be himself, and he gonna pull in the masses. You ever seen Kodak? When you ever seen you on Instagram and said Kodak Black is not live? By the time you click on it, it's already like 30,000 people on it, and he just sitting there smoking a black.
How we speaking of that Pretty V? How you feel about that video that she did?
It was comedy. It drew in a lot of attention, but it was comedy ultimately. Most of us didn't even know she was from Miami. So, you know, it was comedy. She seized the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That the original song that I heard, I don't even know if that's the original song, but the such and such is not Atlanta, Decatur is not Atlanta. All right, that was cool. You know what I'm saying? But you could, like Kodak said, you could do that. They can do that. We trying to build something here. We're trying to finally unite in a place that's been torn apart for so long.
Kodak said they can afford to do that.
We can't afford to do that. Yeah, they can afford it. We can't, because we trying to build something new.
And to me, even just hearing his I guess response, if that's what you want to call it, to her video, even hearing him, even he know that we lacking the unity in our city, and that's what's holding us back. He said it. He like, yo, we can't afford to be like them right now. We ain't tight like that. You know what I'm saying? Even he know that, and it's like, yo, that is the one. And if you just pay attention to his moves and who he's signing and what's going on, he's quietly on another level trying to do that.
Oh yeah,
He's
definitely.
signing artists from Dade, signing artists from Palm Beach, signing artists from Broward. He on a whole nother level is trying to bring that together, because he understands the talent and the power that we got in just this Tri-County area. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's undeniable. You come down here and you can pluck somebody out, give them 6 months, they're gonna be the hottest artist in the game. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you can go through the hip hop history. Uncle Luke on down to Trick Daddy, on down to Ross the Kodak, like, just, and everything in between. Trina, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't take long. You know what I'm saying? Because the energy and the infectiousness that we got down here. I mean, the energy and the vibe we got down here is infectious. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to be around it. Everybody want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And just, if you know that and you understand that and understand the power that we have as a city, you know what I'm saying? Like, working together is an easy layup, because at the end of the day, all that's gonna cause us to do is make an undeniable sound, an undeniable music that we could take anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that's missing down here. You could take any artist from here and pluck them and sit them in any city, and it's gonna work. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's interesting just to see, how people respond to that. But our vision's clear, man, and we're gonna keep pushing that forward. We gotta be bold enough. You gotta be enough to just try it, because
almost bullheaded, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I see the things that's meant to stop me, but I'm not stopping. You know what I'm saying? And so that's it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, man. So when you think about, like, artists, right, and their development, how important do you think social media in 2022 is to an artist's career and their development?
I think social media is very important, but you also have to have a personality outside of that. You can't be a person on social media and then when I see you in real life, you're the shy guy. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm really just to myself, Like, I need your personality to be just as bold and brazen as it is on social media when I meet you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the person that's gonna really capture the audience. That's the one when people are gonna say, yeah, I met bruh. He just like that. He just like that. He cool, you know what I'm saying? But he's really that dude. Yeah. And then everything else is just, follow my dog on IG because he make good music. That can get you far. That can get you places, but it doesn't get you as far as your actual presence. Like, what does your presence do when you on stage? What does your presence do? You know what I'm saying? We from a small area. So if I run into you in the mall, are you the same guy? You know what I'm saying? Are you the same guy that I see on Instagram? Are you the same guy that I see on Twitter? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I do feel like social media presence is important. But I also think that when it comes to your career, that the presence outside of social media is important also. So I would call it 75% social media, 25% who you are as a person. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's 99.9% social media. I think that in 2022, if you don't have a personality, you're not gonna make it. If you don't have something to offer other than I can sing, I can rap, I can play an instrument. That's what social media is for. Like, if that's all you gonna do is freestyle, get on social media and freestyle. If all you gonna do is sing and hit the high note, get on social media and hit the high note. But even older artists, you see them now, like, understanding, I got artists from the 90s never popped out and talked as much as they do now. And the ones that we talk about now, like, they are understanding the game a little bit more, and they're knowing, like, they're understanding how to be relevant and capture the moment of what's on social media and what's right now. Social media has made the world this big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, as a star, as an artist, you have to have a presence online that when I jump online, I can feel connected to you. Before,
okay, I can see that.
Before, the draw used to be how mysterious you can be to your fans. How much information can you hold back from them? What don't they know about you, right? It used to be a thing. When her first jumped out, she was like one of the last artists to really be able to pull that off. Remember when her first jumped out, it was all about her with the shades on. You never saw her face. She always concealed that part of her about being a mystery about her. She went against the grain that was the hype that was happening at that moment. But in 2022, fans want to feel connected. And a lot of that has to do with nowadays we don't buy CDs, right? When you go to the store and you buy a CD that's something in your hand, you feel a little connected to the artist. I got something of yours. I can hold it. I can touch it. It's something of yours. Nowadays, everything is your phone, it's streaming, so there's no connection between you and the artist there. There's a lot of content. Our attention span is that quick now. So with that content, you have to be able to keep creating as an artist. So in order for you to be creative, in order for you to keep creating, you got to have some type of personality. You got to have something else about you other than I can rap, I can sing, I can play an instrument. And the only way to get that out there is through social media. And everybody is on social media. That's where 90% of the world is now. So if your presence in social media is not consistent, there's only a handful of artists. Even just last night, right? Drake. He himself plays the internet game, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's that picture floating around of him reacting to Russell Westbrook shooting the shot, and the story is he's promoting Young Thug's new luxury jewelry line, and that's Homer, and that's the new piece of the jewelry line. But if you look at the picture and you look at the comments, everybody's thinking the same thing. Yo, this is an automatic meme picture because just how the picture look, right? But at the same time, Drake is calculated. A picture like that is not gonna get out unless he knows and authorizes it. But at the same time, Drake being aware and understanding that, hey, it's 2022, you gotta be on the internet. Yo, drop that funny picture. Let them have that. Let them eat off of that. Because he know, good or bad, that's gonna cause his name to trend. And if you look on Twitter right now, his name is trending still. And that's from more than 12 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about who can, especially when you get to that caliber like Drake and them, because they don't be on the internet like that. Drake, Cole, Ken, they don't be on social media like that. But They thing is when I jump out, when I hit, I need to be trending.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like that's the whole reason he went to the game. The whole reason why he was courtside.
And he braided his hair now. You know, he's trying to draw more attention to himself. Like, you know, I think I even tweeted that last night. I was like, look at Drake deciding tonight to play the internet game. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it is. This is him understanding, social media. They need something to do. Give them a little something. Boom. Let me get relevant for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I can agree with you on how important social media presence is. Because like you said, that's where people live now. You know what I'm saying? We all kind of live together on social media. So when these artists pop out, it's like we just ran into them in the living room or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, what's up, bro? Forgot you was here. But anyway, I see you still doing your thing. I'm gonna go back in my room now. You know what I'm saying? So it's it is important. It's very important. But like I said, even understanding that, I still want you to have a real personality. Like, because we both met artists who, their social media presence is powerful. You see them in person and they act like we've met artists that treated us like we're the star. You know what I'm saying? Like we're the one that's all over social media.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, though.
Yeah, man. Speaking of like online and things like that, one of the conversations that has been like really been ramping up is just, especially because there are individuals that are a part of the culture, well, not a part of the culture, that are workers in the culture that are getting a little older. The Ebros of the world, and the Rosenbergs, and they're getting older, but their platform is the radio. Now, in the 90s and the early 2000s, the radio was the gateway to success.
Yeah.
And then the internet popped off and the radio became kind of the side door. You know what I'm saying? And now in 2022, that grip is even smaller. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. And now you have the internet, which has birthed different platforms, podcasts, things like that. And you see different individuals popping up with their own, their own style of podcast or whatever. Mm-hmm. And artists are running that way when it comes to promoting their music, promoting themselves. Especially now that video is important on important part of your content, right?
Yeah.
When you think about radio and you think about podcasts, which one do you feel is the more important today?
I feel like podcasts are more important to the artists, mostly because just like you mentioned, the visuals are everything. You know what I'm saying? Visuals are because like you said, everything's on the internet. Everybody want to see. Now, radio, on the other hand, you don't have that advantage. All you have is the music and the voice. And I think that kind of that kind of got played out when it was like, oh, I can stream the music and I ain't got to listen to no commercials. I ain't got to hear nobody talking. No, you know what I'm saying? I can find whatever I want to listen to. I don't have to listen to the small talk in between. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I still listen to the radio. But do I enjoy listening to the radio as much as I would enjoy listening to a podcast? No. I don't. I still like, sometimes I might be doing something in the morning, listening to Ricky Smiley morning show. It's a lot of fluff in there, a lot of stuff that I don't care to hear about, a lot of news that ain't news. They talk about old stuff as if it's new. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all ain't got the internet, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have told y'all this, but yeah, it just don't have the same feeling. It's not as up to date. But also, radio kind of provided a smooth segue from radio to podcast.
Why you say that?
And I mean, because we have stuff like the Breakfast Club. They've pretty much been a podcast, but it's a radio show. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's provided the format without actually being a podcast. But if it's left up to me, I'd rather listen to a podcast. I'd rather listen to my music, listen to my interviews through a podcast.
I ask you that because it's funny, because I think it's actually the other way around. I think that podcasts forced radio to be more video conscience, more content conscience. I can see that. I think there was a freedom in podcasts, right? Because you can get on podcasts, artists can curse, they can smoke, they can drink. So now you can be yourself on podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So now artist is thinking to himself, all right, do I want to go on radio where I gotta be PC and clean, or where I can go on a podcast where I can be myself and have a moment on the internet, right? So then
it's like the total package.
So then you think about and you look at how now that radio is conducting itself. Now, like for instance, I was listening to the same Conway interview, and at the beginning of the interview, he asked a question that I often hear when people come on the radio. They start talking, and they start getting comfortable, and they start to get comfortable, and they say, "Oh wait, can I curse?" Right? And that's just their way of saying, right? They don't even mean to ask that question, but they do mean it, but it's a strategic question. That's their way of letting you know, oh, from this moment on, I'm about to be a little bit more real than I was at the beginning, right? On podcasts, off the gate, you can be that. You know what I'm saying? Like from Jump Street, you can be that. I was watching the podcast episode the other day of the Pivot podcast with Michael Beasley, and seeing him on there and seeing how vulnerable he was and how open and he pulled back that veil. Like, you don't get that you can't get that on radio.
Right.
And even too, like the like you said, the smoothness of the podcast, the radio might jump in every 2 minutes for a commercial break, and it's like, this is not fun to listen to. You know what I'm saying? A podcast is on demand. I can pause and stop whenever I need to. I can listen to it whenever I need to, whenever I want to. I don't have to jump on the radio at 2:00 in the afternoon because that's when you're going to be on there, or 9:00 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I can wait on my time and do that. You know what I'm saying? It live forever. So to me, it kind of forced radio to say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do now. Like, now you see a lot of these radio shows have podcast channels now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they know they gotta jump into this lane to stay relevant for what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But I do think there is a legacy power to some of the radio. Like you still gotta go through the Breakfast Club, right? Mm-hmm. On the West Coast, you still gotta go through Big Boy. You still gotta ride through the leakers. You know what I'm saying? And I do think regionally radio has more power now because podcast is a more broadcasted. Is more you can catch it from anywhere. Mm-hmm. But if you tapped into tapped into the area, then you on the radio there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's more of to me. That's bringing back the work it takes to get on the radio. Now you kind of want to be on the radio because now you know if I am somebody over there's paying attention to me on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it kind of goes both ways. When you like how you mentioned that kind of turn on a different light to me. Like when it comes to being regional, yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you can get popping on the radio in a different region, that's what you want to do because that means that this is what's being pushed in that area. Like they're pushing my music or they're pushing my voice somewhere in this area, and that's dope. It's even if it's your region, even if it's your, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, we hear music first from the crib because we're at the crib. You know what I'm saying? And being that it is that way, those artists get that exposure, they get to grow in their region while also, you know what I'm saying? Because you got people like, the Kodaks who, they go around, Breakfast Club is always on his circuit, on his promo circuit. And, they just get more opportunities that way. But yeah, definitely as far as regionally, you wanna be on the radio, but those podcasts offer a different set of opportunity.
Yeah, it does. Different opportunity, different freedom. So it's just a reflection of the way time is going, the way things are going.
They like cousins. They like cousins.
Mm-hmm. It's just a. I mean, and two, it's just a show. It shows you because there is an age difference too in that as well. Because more of the younger generation, they don't even touch the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everything is on YouTube. If they on YouTube, then it ain't really happening. You know what I'm saying? Or TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So, but for older, not an older, but a more older than that crowd, you might still be able to catch them on the radio here and there, and it might be able to catch one like that. But the internet is so important nowadays, man. That if your presence is not being felt there, it's just hard. It's hard to justify investing in you and thinking that it's gonna work because it's just not a proven. It's not a proven method. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The one thing that I always hate about the radio, especially, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know. I just hate when I hear I'm listening to a song on the radio, and it might be a song that I've grown tired of, or it's just, I'm not too fond of it. But when I change the radio station and then I hear the same song, or I'm listening to the same radio station and I hear the same song, like I feel like it's a song on a loop. That really irks my nerves.
That's that programming.
That really grinds my gears, dog. Right.
That's that programming. You know, you know what I liken it to? I liken it to when they have like those high frequency machines that only animals can hear, right?
Yeah.
Because to a person of a certain, age or whatever, to hear that song on the radio every 15 minutes is like, yo, why? Right? But to a younger generation, they only want to hear 4 or 5 songs. So now, if you want them to listen to the radio, you better have that song playing on the radio whenever you catch them on the radio, listening to the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if I gotta play this song every 15 minutes to catch this young jit listening to my radio station, I'm gonna play it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this is what you want to hear. This is what you want to TikTok to. This is what you want to dance to. This is what you want to have your moment to. So I gotta keep playing it because you can't rewind the radio. But if I keep playing it, you gonna all right. Well, I know in 15 minutes you're gonna play this song again. Let me get ready. It's a dirty game, man. It's a programming game that you know, man. It's just the way. It's the way that we program now. The way we built now. Our attention spans are so small now. I was listening to a CD album the other day. I forget what album I was listening to. Actually, it was a Kanye album I was listening to, the College Dropout. And the whole time I'm listening to this album, I'm like, man, like songs used to have 3 verses. You know what I'm saying? like now 3 verses is like, yo, what you doing? Why you hogging up all this space? Like,
yeah.
So
it's a 4-minute track at this point. We ain't got time for that.
We ain't got time for that, man. And the thing about it is, it can be done, but the quality isn't there. The quality and the effort, the understanding of the frequency and it's not there. The musicianship is not there, you know. So that's why everything is so fast and microwavable now.
Yeah, a lot of times when I think about the 3-verse songs that we used to have, I think about the fact that that third verse had to.
You had to go.
Verse had to bring it.
You had to go. You got to close it. You had to be the closer.
And bro, those are wild times, dog. Because you had to. Like there was no slacking on the third verse.
No lagging, bro. You had to.
That's crazy. Like when I be talking to artists about that, they be like, "Yeah, bro, we used to struggle on that third verse. Like that used to be the fight. That third verse.
It's so easy now because you don't have to have that third verse. You don't have to have that third verse now, man.
Yeah, bro.
But
anyway, is there any new music that you've been tapped into?
Man, I wouldn't say new. Well, I mean, yeah, new, relatively new. I've been listening to that Willie OZ. He dropped a couple tracks. That Porky.
Oh yeah. Biddy, that song.
That's my head.
I be at work and that be in my head. That'd be in my head.
It's catchy, bro. I remember when he first played that song for me, and I told him, I was like, bro, as soon as you drop this song, you out here, because that song is so catchy. It's a catchy song. You know what I'm saying? B Smith dropped a couple tracks that I'm really into. That 3 times especially. That 3 times is more into that. It's so funny because I was thinking today. You remember when Khaled started really messing with that mashup sound for hip hop, where it was like 2 or 3 beats or 2 or 3 samples on one beat, and everybody's kind of like, yo, why you doing that? Not feeling it. But now, if you jump on TikTok, that's all it really is. Like, these young kids is taking like a song from the 90s or the early 2000s, and they mixing it with a song from today, and they just mashing it together. Like, I thought to myself, like, man, when Khaled first did this, like, y'all killed him for it. But now, like, that's the wave now. That's the whole TikTok wave now.
It wasn't the time. It wasn't the time for it.
I think he started that. I think when he did it, it started that trend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when you gonna do something like that, that's one of those bold things that you kind of gambling with that, and then when it catches on later, then you can say, yeah, I put y'all under that. But at the same time, we wasn't feeling it at that point. It wasn't. Maybe just the way it went. He did it. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't where it's at right now. But now it's cool because kids are doing it. Anything kids do is cool.
Anything kids do is cool. But yeah, man. I've been listening to Jay Only also dropped the it wasn't his track, but it was a feature.
The one with the what's it, Kendrick?
Ellis and Kendrick.
Dumb. Yeah.
Featuring Jay
Oh
Only.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
That
another
boy is talented. That boy.
another year, man. Another
And you
year.
can tell he know it. You can tell he know it. Like when you see him, he know it.
It's I saw Donna Dine in the studio with Scribbles who.
Okay.
And that made me excited. I was like, yo, we need that. We need that vibe. And then I was checking Donna Dine's IG stories, and I think she posted a snippet of the song, and it kind of made me hype because I really want to see that collab. Shout out to them ladies for holding down female R&B, bro, like for sure, like. So I definitely am excited about seeing that. But that's pretty much it for me for this week. That's what I've been tapping into. I've been in my R&B vibe heavy. What you been into?
I've been listening to a lot of that ain't, I've been listening to a lot of R-Line and Jay Only. I'm really excited about the new project Jay Only, Gregory Goldwire, and Anton Anderson are putting together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about that because I know how they bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Today I listened to his to Dave East's latest album
I meant to listen to that.
Yeah, he doing his thing on that. He doing his thing.
The last one he put out was the first Dave East project I listened to where I was like, okay, I can see it now. It was the first one I listened to where at least half of it I was like, all right, I'm into it. So that's how I know it's been some growth in him for sure.
Yeah. I really, I mostly listen to music from the crib. Gotta stay tapped in with the music from the crib. I've been listening to some unreleased Ridiculous Row. Spinning heavy, a lot of Dirty 1000.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
the Water Running EP on the way.
Yeah.
From that boy Dirty. Cannot wait for that one, boy. The street. I ain't gonna lie,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna remember what I was about to say.
Nah, just shout out to that boy Dirty and that Keep That Water Running EP. We waiting on that.
Yeah, he gonna body it. That Gang project. That
I've been meaning to get into that,
but it is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Like Gang is fun to listen to.
The Hustler at Heart.
Yeah, Hustler at Heart. Mm-hmm. He's fun to listen to for the simple fact that he's like a walking instrument. Like he can harmonize. He gonna give you bars. He also has a lot of substance in his music. It's easy to listen to. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. And that's what I like about Gang. Who else I've been listening to? Like I said, Jay hit up. Mm-hmm. I seen Classic and Polo Cannon in the studio last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've been listening to some of the you know how we get it out. We got a lot of unreleased music. So I've been listening to the Nova King unreleased music. I'm still listening to Love for Sale because that project kind of moves me. You feel me? But yeah, I just been listening. I just been listening to a lot of music. Like I've been trying to, just get my mind right. You feel me? Because I know there's a lot of things coming up that I just got to be in tune for. So I gotta get calibrated right now.
Yeah, man. It's a interesting time, man. We just a lot of dope music. A lot of dope energy in the city right now too. So
Yes, a lot of real unity. You know what I'm saying in the city right now. I've seen Humble Religion and Trash Magazine collaborating. That's so dope to me. Just to see, Broward coming together on every different plane. Not just musically, not just artists, but clothing brands and media outlets. So it's exciting. We're in exciting times right now. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah. What do you think about the Broward underground scene right now? How you think that's going? Like our farm system, our development side. How you think that's going?
Honestly, I think everything in Broward is going well. I feel like we finally started watering our own grass. Finally started watering our own plants, and now everything's growing, and we're ready to show the world how great we are, because we've been living in the shadows of Dade County for so long, and then it's just time. It's our time, and as you can see that it's our time. Dade is not holding back on showing love to us. You know what I'm saying? You see Ross and Broward all the time. We see Ross, collaborating with Stay True, collaborating with Humble Religion. And so that's because everybody recognizes that it's our time.
Yeah. And everybody understand that teamwork is vital. It's vital. We gotta support each other. We gotta hold each other up. It's vital. Yeah. That unity is vital.
And the support right now is probably at a height that I've never seen before. And I've been around this stuff for I don't know, a very long time. Yes. But the level of support each person is given to each other, like even when everybody was on the dollar for dollar freestyle, the support that was being shown between artists and just on a individual projects, every time somebody drop a new freestyle or anything, you see the support is growing. It's on a different level right now, a level that I've never seen before, and I'm happy to see it. And you know what I'm saying, I'm happy I'm around to see it.
Yeah, bro. It's a dope times we in, man. One of the things I did want to highlight before we get up out of here was, man, it's just really dope to see so much black television right now. One of the things that I was really like upset about was when they said that it was the Blackish last season, because it's not that many black shows on television. But when you sometimes when you pull the weed out, more sprout up from it. So when you think about shows like Abbott Elementary, which is probably my favorite show. That's another episode on there I don't watch that I do not laugh. You know what I'm saying? The Black Wonder Years, it's really done well, really written well. Bel Air is really, really good, really done well, really, really dope show. Atlanta coming back for the season 3 and season 4. It's just a lot of black, our kind of people was another show. It's just a lot of black television, a lot of black stars that are finally getting recognition and finally getting opportunity, because it really hasn't been that much for us. So to look up and to see this many shows, this many things that we can catch, it's beautiful. It's dope to see, and I hope it gets more. I hope this doubles in the next couple of months, and I hope that doubles, because we need more and more of this. We need more representation. Just to see how there's different families now on TV. At least that family dynamic is being shown now, and now they're showing just real issues, real things, and showing that we're human. We go through things and real problems and real issues. So it's dope to see the representation on TV. I love it, man. It's super dope.
Yeah, it's great to see, especially coming from that era where we had those things and then they sort of just disappeared. And because we had Family Matters, we had Martin, we had Living Single, we had all these shows, and then they all of a sudden they disappeared.
That whole channel, bro. It was a whole channel of black shows, and they just went away.
So now we back, and like you said, touching on real life issues. You know what I'm saying? It's not written in the same way those shows are written, even though those did touch on real issues, but their issues are more realistic in these, these newer shows. And that's dope, because like you said, it shows us as people who, not just what we want white America to see us as, but what we are, regardless of what white America thinks. And I think that's the most important part, just being the unapologetic part of it all.
Yeah, bro, it's true. So it's just, I hope the trend continues. I hope we get more black opportunities in the film, in the movies. I was just watching the other day. I just watched speaking of unity and working together, we see the comedians putting more emphasis on it now. Dave Chappelle putting his people on. Earthquake just dropped his first special on Netflix. It's hilarious from the time it come on to the time it go off. So just to see Dave putting the emphasis on putting his team on, we already know Kevin Hart been about that, been about putting his team on. So just to see that, they know, the importance of spreading that unity and spreading that energy, because that's what's going to help propel you. That's what's going to help prop you. That's what's going to help keep the energy going. Everybody knows that everybody's in it for the same reason, and they're moving it together as a unit. Everybody going to win. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I go, man. It's not for everybody. It's just for our region, our city, because we got that talent. We got that solid city. We got that it factor. We got that everything that you need to make it, except for that unity and trust. And that's what we're trying to build right now, man. So it's just dope to see that, man.
Oh, good. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying the ride. I'm enjoying the mission. You know what I mean? And we here to see it through.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I have to shout out enormous congratulations to my brother Ro, Ridiculous Ro. He just welcomed his daughter into the world.
Man.
Beautiful baby girl, Alani.
Alani
in
Ro.
fact, I've been meaning to call him. He be sending me pictures. I be wanting to tell him, all right, you can stop staring at that baby now.
Nah, man.
I know how.
Can't, because he gonna look away and she gonna be in college.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ro, man, and our beautiful niece that's finally here. Shout out to that. Shout out to that beautiful, healthy mom and baby. For sure, man. Yeah, man. Happy times, though. A lot of new focus, a lot of new grind now, man. So
yeah,
you know how. Oh
yeah. Hey, we can't forget about Raj and Twinkie.
Come on.
Can't forget about. I think they just shot the video for "Do You Party."
They did, man.
Yeah,
they out there working. Them boys out there doing their thing, man. So it's a dope energy around right now, but you gotta keep capitalizing on it, man. Shout out to everybody making moves, dog. Shout out to everybody doing their thing. And shout out to everybody that be tapping in with us. Thank you for being patient with us. Now that we back in the saddle, we back in this thing, we back focused on it. Thank you for rocking with us. Help us to double up. Like, subscribe, tap in, share, all that. You can find us on YouTube at Everything's Legit Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Everything's Legit Podcast. You can find us on TikTok at Everything's Legit Pod. You can find me on Instagram at B_RealWise. You can find me on TikTok at The Rebel Wise.
Too many names.
Right.
Hey, but you can find me on Instagram at _King Pitt. Also on TikTok at King Pitt 954. I think Twitter is something similar to that, _King Pitt 954 or something. You know, just find one, you find them all. That's all.
Yeah, man. And like I said, shout out to everybody that's tapping in with us. Shout out to another dope episode, my boy. Yeah. And to take us out, we gonna get that, put it in one more time. Thank you for tapping in with us. And until next time, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Like, I don't even know if I'm high or if I'm drunk at this point. Hey.
Yeah, full up the cash out, getting these packs out, sleep in the trap house, all in the year. From sleeping in the car to living in the castle, put it on pasta, all in the year. She said she didn't want me, not a bit on me, I don't even want it. I was all in her ear, beating up back out, running these racks out, never will I tap out, all of this year. Full up this count.
Like, what you thought? I was just sitting back, not rapping, nigga? You think niggas ain't get better? Like, what you said? I want me a meal to see just how it feel. Ain't worried about no bills, negotiating deals. Find me some shit, I'm stunning in this bitch, everything legit. I want me a meal to see just how it feel. Ain't worried about no bills, negotiating deals. Find me some shit, I'm stunning in this bitch, everything legit. Hey, I'm about biz, money where my mouth is, spliffy where my mouth is, smelling like ounces, but